This is about blasting to make a foundation for a new addition to our house in Conifer. So we started out with this house and we're adding this on. There was a lot of rock underneath of it. A lot of it was very solid. Couldn't be excavated entirely, so we had to blast. So here's what it looked like the day before blasting. The driller had already been in there and drilled a lot of rock out, a lot of holes in the rock, some of them several feet deep. And what you see is sand on top of boulders that are probably bus sized. That's the existing house in the background. The little black cones sticking up are placeholders. Those are actually where the holes were drilled. Those are basically caps for the holes to keep other junk from getting in, filling up the holes. And they drill the holes in a grid pattern. These are the guys that are packing the holes. You can see it's not a highly scientific process. They've got their little measuring stick there. They can tell how deep the granules are packing up and therefore how intense the blast is going to be, and that's about the extent of it. That guy's putting an igniter together, dropping it down the hole, and he does that with every hole. They drop that down and then they pack a little bit of dirt on top of it. However many holes they're going to do, they do them all and hook them all up together. Not exactly a high-tech methodology, but these guys know what they're doing. These mats weigh about 3,600 pounds each. They're put over top of the holes that are going to be blasted. That's to contain debris, and you'll see how those work in some footing coming up here in a couple minutes. Here's a close-up shot. It's just a bunch of old tires that are ripped up and basically sewn together with metal cord. We weren't near the blast sites. We were a safe distance away. Well, here you go. 3 different perspectives here. Same blast from a different direction. And from a third direction. That blast essentially it moved the side of the hill probably 10, 12 feet to the east, and along a path that was probably about 40 feet long. So you can see what's left of the pads there. Here we go to the next blast. Some of these were more visually interesting than others. This one I'll show you again in slow motion. Not every day you get to see that. It was really amazing that none of the cameras were damaged during this. I had them placed pretty closely. You can see they got hammered with a lot of rocks, but they came out fine. It was amazing I could find this camera after this one. The rocks stopped about 2 feet in front of it. A lot of big boulders there. So we had another 3 blasts that I didn't record, but here's what it looked like afterwards. You can see all sorts of holes in the rocks. Those boulders were one big solid piece, and you can see all the cracks and crevices and the gaps in the boulders. And basically the blasting did all of that. We're going to take a lot of these boulders and place them artistically around the yard and in a couple other places, and put one out front and attach the mailbox to it and put a nice stone etched sign on it with the address. Might as well. These things are heavy and they cost a lot to haul away, and they're much better looking where we are. Give us a call. We'll bring the crew over.